I have often heard many people stating that they need to play video games in order to be able to deal with the ugliness of reality surrounding them. Then you come to a place like this on the westernmost coast of Crete, and you see this, you look at the world, and you say thank you for being so blessed to have the imagination to traverse such landscapes and realize that harmony does not lie in virtual reality, but in the coexistence of human imagination and reality. You have to have both those things. Our world tends to get away from reality because we have locked ourselves up in these concentration camps called cities. And we also lock ourselves up behind our material consumption. Then you come to a place like this and you say, okay, there's something else out there. It's kind of rough up here. So humanity can really should start reassessing things and reassessing what kind of life they want to lead in the long run. What kind of life do we want for our world? A life of idiocy, from the Greek word idiot, idiotia, which means privacy, a private person locked up in his basement or attic or living room playing video games, or being able to coexist with what the universe has provided us with. Because basically we do serve a purpose in the universe. It thinks through us, probably. It requires intelligent beings to think through us, and it's not by chance that the universe has put things together in such a way. It seems like the only civilization that has really recognized this harmony of material and intelligent, the material world and intelligent creatures is Greek civilization. They saw this beauty. I'll say we Greeks once saw this beauty, and we transubstantiated it into beauty, personifying it in the face of gods. Poseidon, for example. If we look at the statues of Poseidon, he's perfect. He's perfect because nature is perfect. Traversing such mountain ranges and running in such terrains, I was once inspired to write a poem which I read earlier in Greek, and I would like to share with you in English at this point. I was much younger then, and I wrote this poem that I'll recite as I ran through olive groves, climbed up mountains, traversed a gorge, and then reached the mountain peak, from which I uplifted my arms saying thank you to the gods for blessing me with the imagination to take full advantage of what my island home has offered me. So here it goes. A runner's ode to Greece. O poignant, undulating land of myth, you stir a yearning in me to return into your timeless, bounteous embrace. I strip my modern self, the bonds I break, and into primal intercourse I plunge, engulfed in pagan ecstasy, a fawn. I savor so my transcendental self, on venturing into lands that myths inspired, as if a graceful painting I traverse, a three-dimensional, alluring scene whose theme unravels at my every pace. In strides I run through ancient olive groves and sense Athena's spirit in their wood, as gnarl-like eyes eternal witness bear to change befalling Greeks in their domain. They weep the loss of their archaic state when olive wreaths crowned athletes, not dead gold. As I traverse steep gorges deeply cut by thrusts and slashes in that vicious strife between Olympians and their Titan kin, before such grandeur less than dwarfed I feel, and yet I cherish all that in me steers. I come to gushing springs that nymphs refresh, while bathing naiads steal my voice away, and as I douse my forehead, cool my lips, a piercing cry does echo through the wood, accompanied by melody of flute. I feel the lurking of that shepherd god, goat-legged, panic-rendering, playful Pan. With bursting lungs the mountainside I climb, My pace and pulse in rhyme with the terrain. From jagged rock to rock, I deftly leap until I reach a craggy mountain top. From there I gaze in wonder at the land, proliferate in deities, muses, gods. Elated, offer I my outstretched arms to heaven's dome and feel Apollo's rays profusely beaming down on Grecian earth. Entranced, my hovering muse I loudly praise for all the inspirations that release encomiastic odes to Mother Greece. If you do come to Crete, do not miss out on this. It's the westernmost coast of the island. It's called Palos. What you see behind me is the famous Tigani, which means frying pan. It looks like a frying pan from top. Okay, and then the island of Grambusa. Very historical, very wild place, and the mountains and the sea clash in a way that do not leave the fertile imagination unmoved. One can imagine why civilization flourished on this island, and nothing could surpass it. It could only be imitated, and some of us perpetuate this culture. Greece lives on. Some people think that the country is suffering an economical crisis. It's not an economical crisis. It's an identity crisis that the world is suffering in a globalized mindset that thrives on idiocy. People locking themselves up indoors, playing video games, watching films, because they do not have the imagination to combine harmoniously the material world, which is like play putty in the hands of somebody who has imagination, to play it and form things with it. Okay, my love to everybody. Happy Easter.